Hey guys, it's Andrew with TEDGiX Watersports USA, and I'm here to show you real quickly how to add a fin mount to your watercraft. This is a PVC fin mount, and it has a flexible outer layer, or outer rim if you will, like almost like a frame. And this piece right here is flexible, but it's a lot more rigid by design, so it can hold your K4, your K4C or your K4 Sport, either one, fin into the box. A lot of times watercraft will not have this exact fin mount, so you can add this as an option or use one of our adapters. So let me show you what you're going to need to use, and we'll be right back at it. This is my preferred go-to. This is an HH66 by a company that you can look up online on Amazon and get it. This is a well-loved bottle that we use around here, and we go through a couple of these a season. And to be honest with you, the reason why we like this product is because it works. I will tell you that this is the highest strength. So if you have and I'll just be honest with you, if you have a less expensive kind of a Walmart brand like Inatech or something like that, do be careful with this. You have to have a PVC material that has sort of that web fabric in it. It's like a screen door you can see in it. That is a perfect candidate for something like this to be used. In fact, this has the similar product features in it too. You can see it's sort of cross-hatched. So be aware and ask your local Home Depot or Lowe's, or better yet, most of the mom and pop shops will carry the HH66 brand or product. This is one of the originals. It is a rubberized, at first it's going to look like a normal rubber cement to you, but it is a rubberized vinyl adhesive specifically for this task. So some other things that we're going to use. You can use acetone. I prefer not to use acetone. That's just me. I use acetone for very specific things. If I'm working in the garage, maybe I'm tearing down a lawnmower, or anything with greasy screws, things like that you need to strip all the grease off of, or maybe even an RC helicopter, because I am a water sports guy, but I have a life outside of here. I think acetone is a little harsh for the task, but you can use it. You just need to be very careful of it. And you just wipe it on, let it dry, and then clean it off, okay? And to get the product cleaned off. What I do prefer is a high isopropyl alcohol. This is a 91%. This is a much less toxic, if you will, option to use. Either one is fine if you have it laying around. What I do caution you on with anything is don't get this product on a rag and then throw it in the trash can. Just don't. Let it dry out thoroughly out in the sunshine or outside on a trash can lid, preferably a steel trash can lid. Let it dry out thoroughly on concrete or the trash can lid, somewhere like that, before you dispose of it. I tend to use rags over and over again, but especially if you're using paper towels for this task, which you can use, I would prefer that you don't just toss it in a trash can. That could cause problems. And I know I'm down here. So the other thing that we're going to use about 1,000 grit. Doesn't really matter. Just anything 800, north of 800. So 1,000 grit is fine. This is a wet sanding sponge. You don't have to get it wet if you don't want to. All we're trying to do is scratch up the material on the actual board itself. In this case, this is a masonite top. Laminate on just an old shelf that we got from Home Depot, or Menards actually, from the scratch and dent area. This we will scratch up as well, and then we will go over it with either the acetone or the isopropyl alcohol. Let that dry off, and then we're going to use the the HH66. The other very important product that we have to have are, for some of us, our reading glasses. Just so we're clear. You know. How's that look? All right, we'll be right back. We'll start the process. Okay, we're back. So what we're going to do is we're going to scratch this up on the whole thing, right? We're going to scritch this up. It doesn't have to be uniform. In fact, you're asking for little tiny microscopic edges to be placed all over everything. And the glue will see that as a binding, as little edges. Think of it like a rock face. You're trying to get anything you can, and this is a good pro tip for anything adhesive that you're trying to put together, not just for this application, but you always want to scratch up the two surfaces to get things to bind up and grab onto each other with the glue. We'll do this real quick. turn it over if it makes you feel better about life that you're getting, but you're probably not going to wear out a little piece of sanding paper or a sanding sponge for this task. Okay, so there's that. Now, we're going to put this on the middle of the board or thereabouts, and we will put that right in here, and we're going to scratch all this up. You can see what it does, right? I mean, okay, so here what we have is we have the stage that we're ready to do the cleanup. And I'm pretty liberal with this, honestly. I just kind of put it on here, a little bit of everywhere. Probably shouldn't do that, but whatever. So here we go. And we'll just do this, and then we'll get after it. Okay. What I do want you to pay attention to, though, is the directionality. So the fin's going to slide in from this end, obviously, right? So as you put it on your board, make sure that you have the propeller facing the correct way. You want the prop to be facing backwards of your board towards the stern. So keep that in mind as we go through this process for your own self. For me, for this process today, I'm just going to show you how to stick it on there. And from there, I need you all to think about what direction you're going to be using the board. So don't glue it on backwards is what I just said. Okay, now that we have the fin box all cleaned up with our alcohol or our acetone, what we're going to do is simply mark it off. So this is one of the tools I did not provide for you earlier. However, some people might find that obvious, some people won't. So what I do like to do is I just like to simply mark it. You can use a Sharpie. In this case, I'm using a pencil. And I just kind of, so let's take it step by step here. Mix this up, and it's not, you do have to work this pretty fast. It'd be great if you're not working it in sunshine. Outside, I'll do this maybe in the garage. Just use a well-ventilated area is my obvious recommendation. And by the way, I'm doing this pretty fast to show you all, but it would be good, make sure it just isn't glopping, right? You don't want to have big, huge glops. Some of it you can wipe off pretty quick before it dries. That's fine too. And we're going to go around the edge here. Okay. So we're good to just kind of let this sit for a second, and we can clean up like this area here. We can clean some of this off here on the side. And just let it sit for a couple minutes there, like it has been total time. And then we'll put these pieces together. Now, once it's together, we may have some edges that have dried a little faster than some of the other areas. We'll go ahead and correct some of that after we get it slapped together. So in this case, we can see our pencil marks, our pen marks. And that's what we're going to do. I line up, I don't get too crazy about it. I just line up the bottom one and a side one, because then you're pretty sure that the others are going to line up. So you want to press it firmly, and it's going to grab pretty quick, okay? There's no doubt about that. So what we want to do is smooth this down as fast as you can and get rid of air bubbles, okay? Now, I've done this once or twice, okay? But for y'all that haven't, don't freak out about it. Just keep moving, right? Keep moving and keep pressing the edges down. Okay, we're back. This is the last piece of it, and honestly, probably the most fun. I want you to know, though, let this set up overnight. Don't be in a hurry. Don't slam this together and go jump on the water. I'd like to see, ideally, at least a 24-hour cure time in an air-conditioned type room. If it's hot and humid or cold, it's going to take longer. So if you're doing this in your garage, that's fine. But once you get done with it, move it inside. Let it cure. If you do not leave it inside or put it inside overnight for it to cure up, that's fine too. Just be aware. Give it as much time as possible. Again, you don't have to be super uptight about it, but just give it some time. Don't jump right on the water. It will come apart. or it'll come apart tragically in a way you don't want, because some parts will grab, some parts will come loose, etc. So here we are. We're going to take a peek at what you're going to do next. You probably already have it in your head. It's not that complex, but let's take a look anyway. Onto the board for a trial run. Ow! Just kidding. Anyway, push this in. Put the slider in so you can see down here, and then plug in your battery. Let it power up. Let it then bind up. And here you go. It's a great solution for all of us to use if we want to get something onto the board and onto the water fast and within about 24 hours. So I'm really happy about that. Just please, by all means, once again, make sure that what you're doing is allowing the glue to set up, and understand that there's a chemical process that's happening between the glue on the board and the glue on the actual fin mount that you need to let occur. So don't jump right on the water. Don't throw your disposable stuff into the trash can, wad it up, and let stuff dry out. That's always something, just since I was a kid, my dad taught me. So just make sure you don't lay towels and rags for this process. Wad it up, crumpled up, and throw it in the trash can. So those are just my safety tips, and we'll go from there. But for now, I want you to have fun, and I hope to see you on the water. Thanks again for watching TEDGiX Watersports USA. I'll put links down below. You can contact me as well at info@TEDGiXwatersports.com, which is the USA site and our distribution center. 5005 Columbus, Ohio, Trans-American Drive. We are happy to be here. Thanks a lot. Again, we'll talk to you soon. See ya.